Hi everyone, so you got a very good boxing card coming up this weekend. Main event, you got Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. I have actually sparred Liam Williams before. We did one round together. It wasn't bad, but he does hit very hard. He hit me with some hooks, and then my legs started going all funny. So it's interesting. I'm looking forward to the fight, and I'll give you a very objective point of view. I know who I think is going to win. I've got my belief who's going to win. And as I say, I'm objective. I'm not just going to say Liam Williams because I sparred him. And Liam Williams does actually follow me on Twitter. So I'm not just going to go ahead and pick him based on that. I'm objective. I speak the truth. I'm as honest as I can be. If I'm honest and I'd say this to Liam Williams' face, no problem. I have to be honest. I think Chris Eubank Jr. wins the fight. Because if you watch their fights, I think, they're both good fighters. They both fought these decent competition. But I just think Eubank's quicker, he's more explosive, he's got better skills. And don't be fooled, Eubank does have power. I was watching the fight he had with James DeGale today. And, listen, he almost had DeGale out of there. He hit DeGale. Eubank's very aggressive, so he hits the girl's legs start going. If it wasn't, if it wasn't for the ropes, James DeGale would have gone down. So you got that fight. Also, I know people can bring up the George Groves fight, but I just feel look, anything. It's just boxing. Things happen. Obviously, I know George Groves had, he had an injury and he still beat Eubank. But obviously, George Groves is a good fighter. Don't underestimate George Groves. But I just feel Chris Eubank's training with Roy Jones now. So I'm not saying just because you train with Roy Jones, it doesn't mean you're going to become Roy Jones. But I'd say in Eubank's case, it is significant because he's finally got a trainer that he respects, that he listens to. So I imagine, they've got a better strategy, a better game plan. So, yeah, I'll go for Eubank. In fact, I'd even give Eubank a good chance of winning by stoppage. Because if you watch Liam Williams, look, he's a very tough fighter. I'm not denying that. And obviously I like him because he sparred me. But, you watch his fight with Liam Smith and, he's not hard to hit. He hasn't really got good defense. He doesn't really have the same natural athleticism as Chris Eubank. So I could be wrong, but I'm just giving you my opinion to the best of my ability. I could lie. I could go for Liam Williams because obviously I know Liam better than I know Chris Eubank. It would be easier for me to spar Liam again than Eubank because Liam Williams follows me on Twitter. So I could just DM him. I could try and meet up with him, say I want to interview you. And when I meet him, I could just say, look, let me just do one more round with you on camera. Try not to knock me out though. But look, I don't lie. And I don't care if people in boxing don't want to hear the truth. If I want to talk the truth, I'll talk it. I don't care. Unfollow me. Don't bother me. But yeah, I like Liam. I think Eubank's gonna win this fight. I think it's gonna be a very exciting fight, but I'll probably go Eubank stoppage. I can see him winning by stoppage because Liam's a little bit. I could see him walking into a massive shot from Eubank. And don't underestimate Eubank. It's the same with me. I just think in the past, his training hasn't been that good. Like he's always coming ripped and, always coming looking ripped. But I mean it in the sense that he does seem to have a bad attitude. I'm not blaming the trainers, but Eubank does seem to have a very bad. He seems to have a big ego. He wouldn't show any respect to Ronnie Davis, which is very stupid. Like, how can you disrespect your own trainer? But he does seem to be respecting Roy Jones. So I believe we're probably going to see a better Eubank in this fight, where he's been in camp for 12 weeks. He's focused. He's done what he needs to do. I have to be honest. I don't care if Liam Williams watches this video. I don't think he will. But if he does, if I'm just being honest, he can unfollow me. That's up to him. I'm going to go Eubank stoppage. 8-10 rounds, I can see it happening. So that's the main event. You got the co-main, Clarissa Shields versus, you know, I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Let me look at the laptop. I'm not going to pretend. I admit my laptop's like right, got my laptop right in front of me. I'm not going to pretend I don't. Clarissa Shields versus Emma Kozin. Emma Kozin. So, yeah, I think it's a legitimate opponent, but Clarissa Shields is a level above. Not really a lot to say. Samuel Antwi, I sparred him before years ago. He's quite good. I think he's won the ABAs. I'll ask him next time I see him. But yeah, Samuel's 13 fights, 1 loss against Conor Walker. I've never heard of Conor Walker. It's for the British English welterweight title. So I don't know a lot about the opponent. I think Samuel Antwi's a good upcoming fighter. He's probably going to beat this guy. But also, I don't know the opponent, so... But I think Samuel Antwi's quite good. But listen, we'll see. Who else we got? Chris Jenkins versus Ndongo. That's a very tough fight. Reese Edwards versus Ruslan Burchuk. Never heard of them. Otto Wallin, who's had 1 loss, versus Kamil Sokolowski, who's had 24 losses. I'm not saying Sokolowski can't beat him, but he's had 24 losses. Isn't he Sokolowski? Isn't he the one that beat George Fox, Don Charles' son? But or is he the one that beat Adelaide? You know, let me just check. Let me open up a new tab while I'm talking. Oh, you also got Harlem Eubank versus Viral Simeon. I've got no idea who that is. But Harlem Eubank is Chris Eubank's brother. George Fox. Yeah, he beat George Fox, didn't he? The Sokolowski fella. But yeah, so those are the main ones. And then you've got a couple more fights. Steve Robinson versus Shane Gill. And you got the debut of... Oh yeah, Steve Robinson. I think he's a big Ivan Drago looking individual. So I'm probably going to go to Leeds quite soon. So where is he? Leeds or Newcastle? So I'll probably be running into him soon. I know a friend of his, so I can get access to him if I want. I could probably spar him if I wanted to. I don't mind. So obviously the person I want is David Hay. That's the person I'm most desperate to spar, David Hay. But if I could spar if I could spar Steve Robinson, I'll spar anybody, I don't mind. But I'm desperate for David Hay, because obviously he's famous, isn't he? And last but not least, the other name mentioned, you got Caroline Dubois in her debut against Varda Masio-Kite. I think I've met her. Varda let me double check. But yeah, I think I've met this person. But yeah, she loses to all the... let me check her record. I'm sure she's the one, Lithuania. It's definitely the one I'm thinking of. Well, in her last few fights, she's lost to Rihanna Dixon, who's much smaller. She's lost to Christine Shergold, lost to Tasha Jonas, lost to Ebony Jones, lost to Jordan Barker, lost to Lindsay Bukunowski, lost to Rebecca Ainskara. She drew with Kirsty Babington. And, you know, that's like her last few fights. So, like, just literally, like, was it 7 losses in a row? I've met her, like, she's quite a big, tall woman, but, yeah, she just keeps taking loss after loss. She's from Lithuania. I've met her before, I've spoken to her before. I've tried to get an interview, but, you know, she said she doesn't talk a lot of English. I don't speak any Lithuanian, so, yeah, she didn't really want to do the interview, which is okay. But I'm friends with her trainer. I know her trainer quite well. So look, I wish her well, but I just don't like seeing these journeymen and journeywomen in boxing getting used. She's had literally 2 wins, 14 losses and 4 draws. Yeah, it's just, I don't like seeing people take loss after loss after loss, getting punched in the heads. I mean, maybe go back to college, go to university, try and, I don't know, become an electrician, become a plumber, become an accountant, you know. But I don't know how much they're paying her. Maybe it's worth her a while, so I wish her well. But Caroline Dubois is most likely going to win, and I wouldn't be surprised if she stops her. But anyway, I think I've said enough. I look forward to the show. I appreciate you watching this video. Maybe I should have done it sooner. Let me know if you have any comments. Take care. Thanks for watching.